Hi, my name is Abhishek. I'm a legal intern at Lexicon Company. So today's my topic is draft national policy on migrant workers. So before proceeding with the topic, I request you please like, share my videos and subscribe the channel LexClick. So the Niti Aayog, along with the working subgroups of official members of civil society, has prepared a draft national migrant labor policy. This was spurred by the exodus of 10 million migrants from big cities during the COVID-19 lockdown last year. So let us talk about what is the approach adopted in this draft. So the draft describes two approaches to policy design. First one is focusing on cash transfers, special quotas and reservation, enhancing the agency and capability of community and thereby removing aspects that come in the way of an individual's own natural ability to thrive. The goal is not to provide temporary or permanent economic or social aids, which is rather limited approach. The policy does reject a handout for a right-based approach. It seeks to remove restrictions on the true agency and potential of migrant workers. So let us talk about how should migration be dealt with. The policy emphasizes that the migration should be acknowledged as an integral part of development, and government policy should not hinder but seek to facilitate internal migration. So this compares with the approach taken in the report of working groups on migration released in January 2017, and this was released by then Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation. So the report argued that the movement from agriculture to manufacturing and services was inherently linked to the success of migration in the country. So next, let us talk about what are the concerns with the existing laws on migration. So the 2017, the report argued that the specific protection legislation for migrant workers was unnecessary. It is said that the migrant workers should be integrated with all workers and covering regular and contractual work. So the report discussed the limitations of the Interstate Migrant Workers Act 1979, which is like that the 1979 Act was modeled on 1975 Odisha law. So the Act was designed to protect laborers from exploitation by contractors, and it offered safeguard to their right to non-discriminatory wages, travel and discipline allowance, and suitable working condition. So, however, this law covered only laborers and migrating through a contractor, and it left out independent migrants. So, in 2017, the report questioned this approach given the size of the country's unorganized sector. The report called for a comprehensive law for these workers, which would form the legal basis for an architecture of social protection. The Niti Aayog's policy draft 2 mentions that the Ministry of Labour and Employment should amend the 1979 Act for effective utilization to protect migrants. So let us talk what are the key recommendations of the draft policy. So the draft policy lays down institutional mechanism to coordinate between ministries, states and local departments. The objective is effective implementation of programs and for migrants, and identifies the Ministry of Labour and Employment as the nodal ministry for implementation of policies. The draft asks it to create a special unit to help and converge these activities of other ministries. So this unit would manage the Migration Resources Center in high migration zones and a national labor helpline, link of worker households to government schemes, interstate migration management bodies, and migration focal points should be created in various ministries. So interstate migration management bodies. So the Labor Department of source and destination states along major migration corridors should work together through the migrant working cell, and the labor officer from source state can be deputed to destinations. For example, the Bihar's experiment to have a joint labor commission at Bihar Bhavan in New Delhi. So, so, so there is a need for data. So the both 2017 report and the new draft stresses the need for credible data. The draft calls for the central database to help employers fill the gap between the demand and supply. It would also ensure maximum benefit of social welfare schemes. So the draft policy asks the ministries and census office is that first one, to be consistent with the definition of migrant and subpollutions. Second one, to capture seasonal and circular migrant data. Third one is to incorporate migrant specific variable in existing surveys. So both documents are limited and merit in census data that comes only once a decade. So the 2017 report called on the Registrar General of India to release migration data no more than a year after the initial tabulation. So it also suggests including sub-district level, village level and caste data. It also asks the National Sample Survey Office to include questions related to migration in the periodic labor force survey and to carry out the separate survey of migration. So next one is preventing exploitation. So the draft policy describes a lack of administrative capacity to handle issue of exploitation. The state labor departments have little engagement with the migration issues, and the local administration, given the usual constraints on manpower, is not in a position to monitor migration. This has become the breeding ground for middlemen to thrive on the situation and entrap migrants. So the draft points to the legal support and registration tracking potential exploitation in Nasik and certain blocks in Odisha. So it also flags the poor supervision of migration trends by anti-trafficking units in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. So what are the ways to stem migration? The first one is even as it underlines the key role of migration in development, the draft recommends steps to stem migration. This is an important difference between the 2017 report. So in this regard, the draft asks states to raise minimum wages to bring major shift in local livelihood of tribals. So this may result in stemming migration to some extent. The absence of community building organizations, CBO and administrative staff in the source state has hindered the access to development programs. This has pushed the tribals towards the migration. So the long-term plan for CBOs and panchayats should thus be the alleviate distress and migration, and they should aim for a more pro-poor development of strategy in the sending areas that can strengthen the livelihood base in these areas. So alongside the long-term goal, the policy should promote the role of panchayats to aid migrant workers. The panchayats should maintain a database of migrant workers and issue identity cards and passbooks. They should provide migration management and governance through training placement and social security benefit assurance. And also urban and rural policy should be integrated to improve the condition of migration. So what are the other specific recommendations for this draft? So draft asks the Ministry of Panchayat Raj, Rural Development, Housing and Urban Affairs to use tribal affairs migration data. This is to help create migration source center in high migration zone. It asks the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship to focus on skill building at these centers. The Ministry of Education should take measures under the Right to Education Act to mainstream migrant children's education, map migrant children, and provide local language teachers in migrant destinations. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs should address the issue of night shelter, short stay homes, and as essential and seasonal accommodation for migrant in cities. The National Legal Services Authority, NALSA, and Ministry of Labour should set up a grievance handling cell, and these should fast-track legal responses for trafficking, minimum wage violence, and the workplace abuses and accidents for migrant workers. So that's it. Thank you.